Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have these funky happy birthday cards to share with you, so let's jump right in. So to start, I am going to cut down my cardstock, and I'm working with a black mat and a watercolor background, or panel I suppose. So I'm going to cut my black mat to be 1/8 of an inch smaller than my A2 base, which when scored is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then my watercolor panel will be 1/4 of an inch smaller than my A2 base, giving me nice thin layers all the way around. This is just kind of my preferred look. You could give yourself 1/4 of an inch if that's your preference. It really doesn't matter. It's just what looks good to you. I really love the thin border, so that is kind of where I aim. Now, the watercolor cardstock is actually quite a bit larger. I've cut them down, but I think the original sheet was 9 by 12. That's why I get to cut so much of this off. So just keep that in mind. I mean, if you had smaller watercolor panels, that would be less. It's not waste. I use it for other things, but it does look like there's some waste there. So I'm going to use Distress ink reinkers for the color. However, you could use anything you have on hand or in your stash. Keep that in mind. I'm just trying to inspire. So this is the Tim Holtz Butterfly Perspective stamp. I got this when I first started creating cards. Now, so that was years and years ago. And Tim Holtz used to, maybe he still does, I don't know, but he used to do these kits that you could get in Michael's, because I'm Canadian, we don't have Hobby Lobby. And I think it was an inking kit, and it came with a couple of distress inks and this little stamp set that had like this butterfly and a couple of word sentiments, and it came from this Perspective butterfly set, or Perspective is the stamp set. So I only have it in this kind of silicone-y stamp, but I actually recently purchased it in red rubber, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I got the full set, so that's why mine happens to be silicone, not red rubber, but I will be I have actually just ordered the red rubber version, so I'll have that on hand for next time we use it, but I just thought it would be a lot of fun. Now, if you don't have a butterfly, that's okay. Use a flower. There's so many ways you could change this to work with whatever your stash has on hand. I'm choosing to use a butterfly just because I love them and I think they're fun. Now I'm going in with my T-square ruler and I'm marking off about 1 inch around the outside. This is going to create the border that we're going to stay within to do the inking. Now as I said, I'm going to use Distress ink reinkers, just because I thought that would be a very vibrant and fun way to ink these. But you could, of course, go in with, your oxides. You could ink smush them on a mat and then paint them. You could, use watercolors. You could use sprays and just put a little bit on a mat and use it that way. There's so many ways to do this. I am going to tape them to a hardboard just so that I can keep the lines as crisp as possible. If you don't have a hardboard, you could use a piece of cardboard. Really, it doesn't matter. This is just to keep them from warping as much as possible and to keep the color hopefully contained within that border. It does smudge out a little bit while I'm actually painting on the color, but it's not terrible. So I'm going to run with it. And honestly, I brought in some white gouache way later in the video, and I just kind of fixed up the areas that had a bit of the color going outside of it. So for the background, I'm going to first cover it in water. I should have used a bigger brush. This looks so silly because it's such a little brush, but I covered the background in water, and then I have Kitsch Flamingo, Squeezed Lemonade, Carved Pumpkin, Twisted Citron, Salvaged Patina, and Wilted Violet. And that's what I'm gonna work with for the colors of the background. There is no rhyme or reason as to where or why I'm adding the color, and obviously this is quite sped up, just so you guys could actually watch the whole coloring process, because it does take me a little bit of time to do that, and I didn't really want to cut it out. I guess I could have cut some of it out. The only reason I didn't is that, first of all, the coloring is probably the biggest part of this whole card design. And because I like watching it. So I left it in, but you don't have to do this kind of coloring. You could do anything here. Now I did end up missing, I brought in a larger brush for this one when I went and added the clean color water on the background, but I did miss the little area underneath the butterflies for their body, and I realized it right here and went and fixed it. And then it's so funny, I don't think I noticed that the other one was like that until after. So, it's one of those things. It's kind of funny. But if you had flowers or something, you would have a different shape there. So it really would depend on how you want your colored area to look. And so I'm going to go back in with different colors. And you guys know that on the last one, I'm pretty much going to do a rainbow. But for the first two, I kind of just dropped in whatever colors I felt like using. And I do drop them in with water as well. So they are hopefully going to move. That's kind of my intention. I want them to move. I want them to like blend a bit. I wish they had blended a little bit more, but that's on me because I didn't really make them blend. So, that was, kind of something I should have worked on more, but I like how it turned out. So I'm not really worried about it. And honestly, I'm going to add texture anyway. So it's going to be relevant. And here I missed the body again on that one butterfly. So I do catch them later. They will be painted in. It's just kind of funny. Now, if you guys didn't catch it from the last two videos, I have a poll going on my community tab. I'll leave a link in the description. You can go and check it out. And I would really love it if you'd go and vote. It is your chance to contribute to what series comes next on the channel. So if you have a preference, go and vote and let me know what that is for you. I have 3 options in the poll. One is Simon Says Stamp, 5 cards, 1 kit type videos. I say Simon Says Stamp. It's just a kit video, but I am mostly generally drawn to Simon Says Stamp, so that's likely the kit I would go with. So that is kind of the option. Then I have a behind the scenes option, which is, a chance for you to, just hang out with me behind the scenes. It'll be stuff like storage in my crafty space. It'll be, doing my nails. It'll be drawing. It'll be working on the stationery. It'll be packing orders, that kind of stuff. It's really kind of whatever I do behind the scenes. You'd probably get looks at cards. It'll depend on if I'm ahead or behind as to whether the video would already be out or not. I could walk through the process of how I come up with card ideas, that kind of stuff. So that's the behind the scenes option. And then there is also a mixed media series option, which I think would end up being twice a month. It would be on different Thursdays. So it would be something that I would add on the channel, on the Thursdays that I wasn't doing a bullet journal or potentially a watercolor, depending on how that fell. Otherwise, my Monday videos are always cards. That'll never change. That's always the preference there. It would never be anything different. So keep that in mind. If you don't want anything to change, you can say that too. Leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts on the poll. And you can just tell me that you don't want anything to change. It's just kind of a chance for me to add different things, see what would interest you guys. Because of course, the thing is that if I add something that nobody wants to watch, that kind of becomes not super useful, right? Like you need to watch the content or the channel doesn't do well. So I would like it to be something you guys would enjoy. So like I said, there will be a link in the description. You can go and check out and vote for what you would like to see. And I will probably close it pretty quickly after this video goes live, just because it's not going to stay open forever. I would like to have that new series going on in the channel probably in May if I can make it happen. So it'll just depend on what's voted for, and then we'll kind of go forward from there. And the behind the scenes, as I said, would not be, it would be extra videos on the channel. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't take over a Thursday or it wouldn't take over a creative slot. So that's why I say I don't know what you'd see in it, because it would really depend on what I was working on throughout that month. But that is kind of the breakdown of that. So you saw me add flicks of water. I've added perfect pearls mixed up, and now I've done splatters from the white and black paint just because I wanted some interest in the background. It helps break up the areas that look a little bit odd as well, and I kind of like that. Like, it just breaks it up a little. And then I did heat up the edges so that I had an easier time removing the painter's tape. This was a tip I got in one of my watercolor videos a while ago, and I was told if I heated up the tape, it usually lifted easier off of the watercolor cardstock. And that is true. I have had less issues with my painter's tape ripping my cardstock when I heat it up. So that's a totally true tip. So thank you. I think a few people left it in a video. So thank you guys so much. Very, very helpful. And then this is the card design. We're going to do a few more steps here to make it stand out a little more. But if you didn't enjoy those other steps, you could stop here. You wouldn't have to add different things if that didn't really entice you. And you could do die cuts instead of stamping if you wanted to. I didn't, because it takes away from the effect I'm going to do here in a minute, but you absolutely could, just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to go in with a happy birthday stamp set. This is from Simon Says Stamp, as are many of my sentiment stamps. And it fits in that space beautifully at the bottom there, and it kind of tucks behind the butterfly antenna, and it just fits well. So I really like that. But any small sentiment would work on these. You could have these be, hello spring, just hello friend, happy birthday, thanks. You could really change out any sentiment as long as it fit in the space kind of below where the butterfly is, or whatever shape you have used in your design. This just kind of fit beautifully with what I was doing. And then I'm going to build them. I am going to use my Misti to weigh down the cardstock. You can see for the most part it is pretty flat, but I did find that it curled up a little bit and didn't want to lay on my black mat, so I ended up kind of just changing that up. I had a hard time getting this second one to adhere straight. So because it's watercolor cardstock, it really absorbed the glue quite quickly and didn't let me move it around. And I didn't lay it down straight. So then I'm trying to shift it around, but it wouldn't really move nicely for me. And so you're going to see me struggle with this one a little bit. And I have to lift it off and re-glue it a few times because I just could not get it to lay nicely. And then after I had, shoved it around a bunch of times, it just wouldn't, because the old glue was trying to grab it, and I struggled a little bit with this one, but I think it ended up pretty well lined up in the end. It just took me a few tries to get it right, but that's okay. So, and then I am of course going to add gems. I didn't do anything on the inside of these. I think you could have stamped that butterfly in there with some color, maybe busted out your oxides and stamped it, and that would look really pretty, but I did not. I've been forgetting to the inside of cards recently. So it just, it depends on how I feel when I'm creating as to what I end up doing in the end. But I do think these turned out really pretty. Do you guys have a favorite with the colors? I'm kind of torn. I think my favorite ended up being the Salvaged Patina Wilted Violet, like the one I'm holding right now in my hand. I think those colors, just because of how they go together, but I think they're all really eye-catching and pretty. So I don't know, they're all pretty great, but let me know which one's your favorite if you have a favorite. Now, this is the step I was talking about that you could absolutely skip if you didn't want to. I've brought in an N3 that's a neutral Copic gray, and I'm just going to go around the butterfly, and this just adds a shadow and it makes it seem like it's popped up even though it's completely flat. So it's just kind of a fun way to add a little more interest. And this is something you couldn't do if it was a die because it would already create its own interest. But I think it's just a fun way to just do something a little bit different. So hopefully you can kind of see the difference even between the two cards that are sitting on the desk. So the one in the top right already has its shadow and the one in the top left doesn't. So hopefully it kind of gives you an idea of how it adds that detailing. And I think that it's kind of a neat idea. Be aware though, this could potentially ruin your Copic nib. I have not had that problem, but generally you don't use Copic or alcohol ink markers on textured surfaces. So it's just something to keep in mind. I've never had that issue. And if I did, I would just replace the nib personally. But use your tools however works best for you. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind. Now, because it's me and because I love embellishments, I am going to add some gems. So these are clear, but they have a little bit of silver glitter inside of them, and they're really pretty and subtle. And I thought it would just kind of be a fun design element to add to the cards. I have a fair amount of embellishments because I like them so much. So I do try to use them, on pretty much every card design that I come up with. And they make me smile, but they're not necessary. I think the card was beautiful as is. So definitely something to keep in mind. Now I'm going to hold them up so you guys can see all that shimmer and shine in the background. I love how these turned out. They're kind of a shocker, and you can do whatever colors you want to do. You could do it monochromatic. It doesn't have to be rainbow-esque. So keep that in mind. Totally a great way to do a card design. And I think I had a lot of fun with these. So here is Aqua. It's funny. She asked to be picked up while I was filming this. So here I pick her up right as I'm finishing off showing you guys those cards. So that is the cards that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. And if you made it all the way to the end, leave me a butterfly emoji. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.